The Taiyuan strange case. The porter who defied a corrupt court. In the final years of the Qing Dynasty, the city of Taiyuan in Shanxi province was a place of contrasts. The high gray walls and vermilion gates guarded bustling markets by day. Yet after sunset, the narrow lanes seemed to draw in the shadows, and the wind carried whispers from the past. It was in such a city, half lit by lanterns, half swallowed by darkness, that one of the most baffling murder cases in late Qing history unfolded. The people would later call it the Taiyuan strange case. Some would say it was a simple matter of crime and punishment. Others swore it was tangled with politics, hidden enmities, and the invisible hand of fate. But to the ordinary folk who lived through it, it was a chilling tale that began with a single corpse, a desperate accusation, and a young man named Wang San. Wang San was not a powerful man. Born into a humble merchant family, he worked in a grain shop near the city's west gate. By all accounts, he was diligent, polite, and had no known enemies. Yet one late autumn morning, the body of a wealthy local merchant was found in a dry irrigation ditch outside the city. His skull fractured, his silver hair matted with blood. The man's name was Luo Jiwen, and he was known for both his fortune and his sharp temper. Rumors began even before the magistrate's constables arrived. Some said Wang San had been seen arguing with Luo days before his death over a grain delivery. Others whispered of an unpaid debt. By midday, the constables had dragged Wang San from the grain shop, his wrists bound, his protestations drowned in the jeers of onlookers. In the dim stone hall of the yamen, under the cold gaze of Magistrate Li, Wang San maintained his innocence. He admitted to the argument, but denied any part in the murder. "I have no reason to kill." "Luo Jiwen," he said, voice trembling but clear. "We quarreled, yes, but over a sack of rice, not a man's life." Magistrate Li was a man of stern reputation. He prided himself on quick judgments and firm sentences, yet he was also wary of the city's powerful merchant clans. And Luo Jiwen's family was well connected. Within hours, witnesses appeared claiming to have seen Wang San near the ditch on the night of the murder. One described his furtive movements. Another swore she heard him muttering curses against Luo under the moonlight. The case should have been simple, too simple, and that simplicity gnawed at Magistrate Li. But pressure came swiftly. Members of Luo's family visited the yamen, veiled in mourning cloth but carrying an unspoken demand: swift justice. On the second night after the arrest, a pale fog rolled into Taiyuan, blurring the street lamps into halos. In his narrow cell, Wang San sat with his knees drawn up, staring at the floor. Somewhere beyond the barred window, he could hear the soft patter of rain and, faintly, the echo of a drum from a distant temple. It was then, he would later say, that he felt the presence of someone standing in the dark corner of the cell. A figure that did not move, but whose unseen eyes seemed to pierce through him. Was it guilt? Was it the spirit of Luo Jiwen come to confront his killer? Or was it, as Wang San claimed, a warning that he was but a pawn in a game he could not see? The following morning, the investigation resumed. Magistrate Li ordered the constables to re-examine the ditch where Luo Jiwen's body had been found. The ditch ran along the edge of a mulberry grove, its dry bed littered with leaves. Half buried in the dirt, they found a broken jade ornament, an item engraved with the Luo family crest. It was stained with a reddish-brown smear that the constables immediately assumed to be dried blood. When presented in court, this became the so-called final nail in Wang San's coffin. Yet something about it troubled Li. The fragment was found in plain sight, and jade did not break easily. It would have taken a considerable blow. If it truly had belonged to Luo Zhiwen, why was it lying openly in a place that anyone could find? And why had the witnesses appeared so conveniently after the arrest? The more Li thought, the more he sensed an unseen hand arranging events. But every magistrate in the late Qing knew the danger of digging too deeply into matters involving the wealthy. That night, as Li studied the case notes by the flicker of an oil lamp, the yamen runner announced a visitor. A woman entered, her face veiled, her hands trembling. She claimed to be a distant relative of Luo Zhiwen's household, and after some hesitation, she confessed she had overheard a quarrel. Not between Wang San and Luo Zhiwen, but between Luo and his own nephew, Luo Ming. According to her, Luo Ming had been in debt to several gambling houses. When Luo Zhiwen refused to lend him more silver, their argument turned violent. She had heard threats, a sudden cry, and then silence. The next day, Luo Ming was seen leaving the city in a hurry, his belongings hastily packed. Li felt the stirrings of hope. If this was true, Wang San could be innocent. But evidence was still lacking, and the Luo family influence could crush this testimony like an ant. The following week brought a strange turn. A traveling peddler was detained for drunkenness, and in his belongings was found a purse of silver coins bearing Luo Zhiwen's seal. Under questioning, the peddler revealed he had bought the purse from a man on the road to Datong, a man matching Luo Ming's description. Li now had enough to act. A squad of constables was sent to pursue Luo Ming. They found him in a roadside inn, pale and feverish, the purse of coins beside his bed. Under the weight of interrogation, Luo Ming confessed. He had struck his uncle in anger, the blow stronger than he intended. In panic, he dragged the body to the ditch and fled. Knowing Wang San had quarreled with Luo days earlier, he scattered the jade ornament and whispered to hired witnesses to point the blame his way. When Luo Ming was brought back to Taiyuan, the public reaction was explosive. Some were relieved Wang San's name would be cleared. Others whispered that Li had risked too much by defying the Luo clan's influence. In the yamen courtyard, Wang San knelt and thanked the magistrate with tears in his eyes. Yet even in freedom, he would later tell friends that some nights, when fog pressed against his window and the streets fell silent, he could still feel that same presence from his cell, the unmoving figure in the corner, watching. Perhaps it was guilt that he had lived while another had died. Perhaps it was only memory. Or perhaps, in the shadows of Taiyuan, justice had more than one face.